Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to a brand new video. Bit of a different setup today. I'm actually in my uni bedroom, which I don't really think you guys have seen much on the channel, but as you've already seen by the title, today's video is another mukbang video. My last mukbang video went down really well. I got probably my most views since I restarted my YouTube channel on a video. So I thought I'd come back and it's a Sunday. It's chilled vibes, so I thought I'd do another mukbang, sit down and chat with you guys. But rather than chatting about just general things that I chatted about in the last one, I thought I would answer some of your guys' dating dilemmas. So if you follow me over on Instagram, you would have seen that I put a story up asking you guys to send me your dilemmas, and yeah, I'm basically just going to give you all my 2 pence on your situations. Don't know when I thought I was qualified to be doing this, to be honest, but I just thought it'd be quite a fun idea. Obviously, I'm not claiming to be a dating expert, I'm single myself, but I have been in relationships. I've obviously learned from my relationships, and yeah, I just thought, why not? I thought it'd be quite a fun video to do. Whether you guys enjoy it or not, you guys will have to let me know in the comments, but yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, then I can do more videos like this. And maybe we could even turn this into like a little series or something if you guys really do enjoy it. But yeah, so before I get into the dilemmas, very importantly, as you will see here, I thought I'd put it in the background just, you know, visual effect, but I got a Nando's. I've been craving a Nando's for ages. I feel like I used to eat Nando's so often that now if I don't even have it within like a few weeks, I want it again. So yeah, I spent a lot of coin and I ordered a Nando's. When you order it on delivery, you do have to spend a minimum of £15. The reason I have this much food is because I was trying to meet that, but also not gonna lie, I can eat probably more than £15 worth of food, especially on a Sunday when I'm just doing absolutely nothing and the only thing that there is to do is eat. So yeah, but I got a medium wrap, which I haven't actually opened yet, but yeah, I got a wrap, which this is all just come, so it's all very warm. I always get everything in medium. I can't handle more spice, but I just prefer to get things in medium because I think you can enjoy things more. If things are so spicy, you just can't taste anything else, so what is the point? I then got some peri-salted chips, and to go with it, I got corn on the cob, which I probably won't be eating in this video because let's be honest, no one wants to watch me nibbling on a corn. But I like Nando's corn. If you haven't had it, I do really recommend it. And they send you like a little butter to put on it as well, which I think is quite cool. And then you get a little pot of peri salt as well, which you can obviously rub on the corn. I don't actually know what they send you that for. They send it with any order, but I always put it on my corn, so it really does take it up a notch. I then just ordered some wings, so I think I got 3. Yeah, I got 3 chicken wings here. Sorry if anyone watching this doesn't eat chicken, but I love Nando's, so apologies to anyone that doesn't. And then you're gonna hear that a lot for this video because I'm sat in my uni room. We're right by a road and there's always cars making noises like that. And then I just got some halloumi because Nando's halloumi is just, yeah, it's great. So I'm just basically gonna sit here, eating my Nando's, going through your dilemmas, and yeah, that's going to be the whole idea of today's video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get straight into the first dilemma. I just closed my window, so hopefully the noise will be less now and you'll actually be able to hear me and not just all the cars that are going past on the main road. But I've got my phone in my hand because this is where all of my dilemmas are. Like I said, I put up my story and quite a few of you replied with some of your dilemmas. Some of them made me laugh because they weren't really a dilemma, they were just like funny comments about your dating stories and your dating lives. So maybe I'll do a different video where you guys can just tell me your dating stories and we just go through them, and again do a video like this, but let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, I'm just going to go through a few of them and kind of give my thoughts and opinions. I feel like it's one of those situations where you're like the king of giving advice, but when it comes to actually taking your own advice or taking someone else's advice, you don't even want to do it. So that's basically what this video is going to be, me thinking I'm an expert, giving everyone advice, and then in life, when it comes to me needing advice, I'm never going to take it. But hey ho, let's get on with the first dilemma. So the first one, I think it's a good place to start, especially now because of like Corona, but it says, I really, being in capital letters, hate online dating, but I don't really know how to meet anyone else. What would you suggest? And do you think it's possible to meet anyone without online dating? So I think the society we live in today, obviously especially right now with COVID, there is nothing happening apart from online dating because you can't see anyone. I think right now it's quite important. If you want to stay on the dating scene, then yeah, online dating is your main platform to do that. But I agree, I'm not the biggest fan of online dating, to be honest. I feel like sometimes, especially in like a uni environment, which is obviously what I'm in, it's almost like a bit like a game. it's like a fun pastime rather than actual like serious dating. So I think sometimes if you actually are on those apps looking for something serious and everyone else on there isn't, it can be quite hard to be dating someone. But then I also think, like, I know people who have literally met their partners for life on a dating app, like Tinder, for example. So I think it just depends on your own personal experience. In terms of, do I think it's the only way you can meet people? Absolutely not. You could meet anyone, anywhere, in any situation. I just think right now, obviously because of Corona, our social situations are limited. So the chances of you meeting someone now are probably quite slim. And I know because we've been in like a lockdown for ages, like we're in number 3, it almost feels like that was a whole world ago and a whole lifetime ago, and that's never going to come back. But it is going to come back. We are going to be in those social situations again, and then you will be able to meet people when you're going out, in bars, restaurants, the gym, the supermarket. I genuinely do think you can meet anyone, anywhere, and that will just happen for you. It will happen for everyone. Like, you'll just meet the right person in the right place at the right time. In terms of if you don't like online dating, I don't think there's a pressure to be on the apps. You don't need to do it. It's not like a society demands you to be on a dating app, otherwise you're not in the dating scene. I just think right now, if you want to be in the dating scene, then you probably do have to be on those apps, because it's not really in existence in a physical world at the minute, and in terms of meeting people. But then I guess social media has really changed everything these days as well, because obviously we're so connected to people that we wouldn't have never been connected to if we didn't have social media. So in that sense, you could probably meet someone through social media. So say if there was someone you followed or someone you knew, like a friend of a friend on social media, then I guess you could probably meet someone that way. But then does that still class as online dating because you're meeting them on social media? I don't really know. I guess I'm just differentiating that from dating apps. I know dating apps can be quite annoying, but if you do know someone on social media or have a mutual friend, then I guess that's quite a good way to meet someone as well. But yeah, that's another way you can meet people. If you don't like dating, ask your friends if they know anyone, or their partners have any friends who are single, or yeah, just, it's like networking, isn't it, really? But yeah, I don't think that you have to be on apps to date and to find someone. I think if it's not for you, then that's fine. It's not for you, and you don't need to make it for you. You just do what you enjoy, and you will find someone whatever way that is. It doesn't need to be on a dating app. So yeah, I hope that answers the first dilemma. I feel like I just talk and I don't really know if I answered the dilemma or not. So if I didn't, I apologise, but hopefully that was a little bit helpful. And obviously this is all my opinion on things. I'm not saying it's right. People might be sat out there being like, yeah, you need to be on a dating app to find someone these days. But yeah, I don't think you do necessarily need to. I think you've probably got a higher chance because a lot of people are, but it doesn't mean that it's the be all and end all and the only way you're ever going to find someone. Okay, so the next dilemma, dating dilemma number 2, is I've liked this person for a while now, but I don't know the best way to tell them what do I do. Interesting one. I guess there are certain parts of it which need to be in context. How do you know this person? Are they a friend? Are they someone you just follow on social media? How do you know them, I guess, is what I would ask. But if it is a friend or someone that you've known for a while or someone that you have on social media, I think that like interacting with their page is such a good way to like be noticed. I feel like if the person is on their story and they've posted a story on Instagram, you can swipe up and you can react to their story, and I think little things like that help to get you noticed. It's like a little thing, but it's having a lot of impact, I feel like. Or if they've posted and you're feeling quite confident, just drop them a little comment. But I also think stories are a good way to spark a conversation, and you'll gauge a lot of sort of the vibe from a story reaction, because they can, if you react to their story, they can double tap you, not reply with any words, and it kind of is a bit like, oh right, okay, great. Or that can be the way that you've opened the line of conversation. They can reply to you, you reply to them, and then you've got a conversation flowing between the two of you, and then that will tell you a very different vibe to whether they double tap you. So I think a good way to sort of, not necessarily, that's not telling them that you like them, but that's just almost like showing your interest rather than saying the words out loud, because I know there are a lot of people out there who would never just want to send a message and be like, hey look, I'm really into you, want to go on a date or want to, like, whatever it is you're going to say. But I know there's a lot of people that wouldn't do that. So if you're one of those people that's maybe a little bit more reserved, a little bit more shy, then that's a good way to get noticed. Just like little interactions, opening little lines of, sorry, I'm burping there. Opening little lines of conversation. And yeah, I think as then that progresses, it will start to feel more natural. And if both of you are feeling the same vibe, then I reckon it will just happen naturally, and you probably won't even need to have that conversation because you'll both be feeling it. But if you are a confident person, then just drop the message. Honestly, I think in life generally, if there's something you want, just go out and get it. And I'm not saying go out and just get whoever you want to date. It's not necessarily going to happen. They obviously have to be into you back. But what I'm saying is, it's that whole thing about shooting your shot. If you are into someone and you want to date someone, or you fancy someone, just shoot your shot. Like, what have you got to lose? The worst thing that anyone can say is, thank you, but, and I don't feel the same. And you know what? Yeah, you might feel a bit shit for a few days, but you get it and you get over it. You're not going to be crying about it for as long as you probably think you are. Like, it's not that deep. So yeah, if you're more of a confident person and you're looking to do it, then I'd say just shoot your shot, to be honest, and just send the message. Again, on social media, it's always a good way to do it. Like, even if it's a reaction to something and that's how you're starting it, maybe use a combination of the two. So interact their social media, be quite present on their notifications, and then bam, slide in with your message and let them know how you feel. But yeah, it's an interesting one because it also depends on the type of person that you are. Because obviously if you are less of a confident person, then you're not really going to want to be messaging. But I think if you really do want to get someone's attention and really want to let them know, then that's probably one of your best methods on social media. But then post-COVID, when we're in social situations, I think giving the right body language and all of that is very important as to someone gauging the vibe that you're into them. So if you're talking about post-COVID and you're into someone and you're in a social situation with them and you want to let them know that you actually do like them, then I think your body language, the way you speak, eye contact, like, that's all so important, because the way you behave around someone you're not interested in a romantic way would be very different to someone that you are interested in, and that is very prominent and very key to letting someone know that you are into them and giving them that vibe. And then you will also be able to sense it back, because you'll know the things that you're doing in your body and the way you're acting, and if they're doing the same things back, then I feel like you kind of know that they're on the same vibe. But if they're not, and they're not reciprocating those things, then I feel like that's your sign to be like, right, maybe they're not into me, maybe it's not going to happen, and then just see what happens. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the best way to let someone know. I don't really know. Apart from that, obviously, if you're meeting on dating apps, then you're just chatting and you're already in that situation, so you guess you're already over that obstacle of having to tell someone that you like them. But yeah, if it's someone that you just know already, or you follow on social media or anything like that, then I'd say that those are the best ways to... Okay, so next dilemma is, I'm trying to be casual, but I'm not very good at it. Obviously, a casual can have a lot of meanings to different people, I feel like. I feel like it's one of those terms as well that's very undefined. So you thinking you're probably not very good at being casual is probably because of how you would see what casual is. Does that make sense? So people define it differently and think of things differently. It's almost like the unwritten boundaries of what that means. I think one of the key things to being casual with someone is both of you knowing the terms of casual in your eyes. Like, if you both have the same idea of what casual is, then I feel like it works very well and it's very chilled and it's very easy. But if you've both got two very different ideas of what casual is, then sometimes it can, well, a lot of the times it won't go well, because you're both in very different headspaces and very different opinions on what that is. But yeah, casual, I don't think there's a way that you can even say you're good at it. For me, I'll give you my definition of casual. My definition of casual is it's all very chilled. It doesn't require too much effort. I feel like if something's requiring a lot of effort, then it's not casual, because think of it like this, like a casual outfit is chilled. You kind of just throw it on. It's quite laid back, quite relaxed. A casual outfit is a casual relationship. Did I just make my own quote there? But yeah, I feel like that's what casual is. It's meant to be easy breezy, it's meant to be chilled, it's meant to be relaxed, not too much effort, not too much thought. And if you are overthinking the situation, then maybe it's not as casual as you may think it is. Yeah, it's kind of a hard one to answer. And in terms of how when you're saying you're not very good at it, obviously I don't know why you're not good at it. So I can't really help in that sense of the word, but I'm sure you are. I think hopefully what I've said helps you and understand what I'm trying to say. So just be chilled, be relaxed, don't overthink it too much, go with the vibe of the general situation. If they're messaging you, then you can message them, but if they're not messaging you, don't be the one to send 7 messages, because again, we're keeping it chilled, we're keeping it relaxed. Yeah, I don't really know what else I can say on that one. A bit of a hard one. I think the key to casual is both having the same terms and understanding of what that situation is, and if you do, then you'll do really well. But then it's also that weird one, because if you're casual with someone, you're not going to sit down and define the terms. So I'm not trying to say you need to sit down, hold a meeting and right, rule 1, rule 2, like it's obviously never going to be like that, but I feel like you almost kind of just gauge that natural mutual understanding, and if you don't, then it's probably not going to work. But yeah, I hope that answers your dilemma. Okay, so next dilemma is actually being able to get a date, and they've put haha at the end. So I'm guessing you're trying to say that you just struggle with dating and actually going on dates. So first things first to say is you're definitely not alone in this one. I feel like the majority of people would probably agree and can probably relate, and especially in these times, obviously nobody's dating anyone, so you probably feel it more now because of the situation you're in anyway. So don't stress yourself about it, is probably the first thing to say. I think there's sometimes a lot of pressure on especially the younger generation of today to feel like they need to be dating and they need to be seeing people and in a relationship and whatever, but that is definitely not the case. I know in older generations, like, people got together younger, like people's parents have been together for years, but I think the generations have changed, the times have changed, and that isn't necessarily everyone's priority in life anymore. So yeah, don't feel pressure to be dating if you're not. But equally, if you want to be dating, then I guess my advice to you is to make yourself available. You have to be giving off very open body language. That's key. Like, if you're quite a closed off person, then people aren't going to feel like they can approach you or speak to you. For example, say if you were, I don't know, on a train and someone on the train thought you were attractive and wanted to take you on a date. If your body language is very closed and cut off and reserved, they're probably going to feel less comfortable coming up to you and asking you for your number or social media. Whereas if you've got quite an open body language and you're quite a light, approachable person, then you've probably got a better chance of getting someone to ask you to go on a date. So I definitely think the way you hold yourself and the body language you give off is definitely important. I'd also say that in current times, I know we spoke about it at the beginning of this video, but you don't need to be on them, but online dating apps definitely help because they're putting you automatically in a dating scenario. So I sometimes feel like if you're not on those apps, you've got one obstacle first of trying to get into a dating situation, and then you've got the actual obstacle of dating. Whereas if you're already on, say for example, Tinder, you're already in a dating space. So when you're matching with someone, you're both mutually aware that you're in a flirty dating environment. So all you've then got to do is kind of work from that point. But sometimes if you meet someone, say on social media, that you found attractive, you start chatting, you've almost got that time, that period where it's like, are we just chatting as friends? And then it's like, gets a bit more, and then there's a lot more build up. And actually it can be probably a little bit harder to convert from that into then dating. Because you didn't start speaking in that space, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. Now I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it made sense, and I've said that word 3 times now, but if it didn't, then I apologise, but I think it did. Yeah, I think being on the apps will definitely help because you're being seen by however many people, everyone that's on the app. Yeah, it's a weird one. And then in terms of actually like getting a date, maybe if you're the person that always waits to be asked on a date, why not be the person to ask the other person on a date? And that way you're initiating it and you are getting the dates because you're taking control. Sometimes if you take the control and you're in control, you can almost feel better about a situation as well, because it's almost like, not a power thing, that's the wrong word to use, but sometimes people feel a lot more comfortable when they know that they're in control of a situation. So if you're the one that's asking for the date, then you're kind of in control. And they might like that, the fact that you've actually just asked rather than almost waiting for them to ask. Because you also never know, they might not be a confident person either who doesn't want to ask. And if you're both that person that doesn't want to ask, then you're going to be sat forever and never going on a date. So sometimes in a situation you just have to be the one to bite the bullet and do it. But yeah, I think being on the apps puts you out there, puts you in the dating world. You can chat to different people, it lets you know what you like, what you're into, your type, who you gel with, who you don't gel with. And then yeah, having that open body language in general situations, day to day, being very approachable, like that all really helps, I'd say, if you're trying to get a date. Okay, so I'm going to make this one the last one, just because I don't want this video to be too long. So the last dilemma is, I've been speaking to this person for about 3 months. Is it too soon to be exclusive, especially during Corona when we haven't really seen that much of each other? I think it's a hard one. It's always, I think, I say this about everything, so it's probably a bit annoying when you're watching this video, but I think it depends on the situation itself. Like, you can't compare a generic rule to every relationship. Some people get together after 3 years. Some people get together after 3 weeks. There is no written rule, there's no guidelines, there's no like perfect time. It's just when it feels right is the bottom line. I know why you're probably having doubts, not doubts, but almost like questioning it, because it is such a weird time when you aren't really probably going on, well, you wouldn't have probably been on any dates really, if you've been together, seeing each other for 3 months. So I know why you have those apprehensions, but also the fact that you haven't had those dates, you've probably had way more time talking on text, on the phone, on FaceTime calls, so that probably made everything feel a lot more intense and more moving the relationship forward than you probably would if you had been going like on a date every week or like every 2 weeks, where it feels a little bit more slower. So in terms of, is it too soon? I think the only person that can judge that and tell you whether it's the right time or not is yourself, and if it feels right. I think it's all about the vibe and how it feels. If it feels right and it feels like you've been speaking for this time, you can see yourself with this person, they treat you well, you get on well, it's something that you could see yourself being in for a long time, lasting with, then why not? But just because it's been 3 months and not 6 months, why does that make it any different? Because if you're going to be together for, I'm not saying you are, but if you're going to be together for the rest of your life, why does it matter if you became, and also you're only talking about exclusive, you're not even talking about relationship status. So exclusive, I guess, in my eyes just means that you're not really speaking to anyone else, you're kind of just speaking to each other. So I don't think that's too soon at all. I think it's, people probably become exclusive a lot sooner than they actually become like boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever anyway, because being exclusive, you're not officially labelled, so it's not bringing all this pressure of being in a relationship, but you also know you have the security, well, the security of not speaking to anyone else, and it's kind of just you and that other person. So it's quite a nice situation. So I feel like people do that a lot sooner because you're more in like a secure little bubble, but you've not got all the pressures of being in a relationship. So if anything, I'd say going exclusive is probably the best thing for you, because you're clearly having those thoughts where you feel like you want to be almost like moving towards a relationship with this person. But yeah, again, being exclusive doesn't bring all that pressure. It just means you're kind of committing to one another and just like speaking to each other rather than 5 other people at the same time. So I'd say no. In my opinion, no, it's not too soon. And but I also think it could be too soon, but it depends on how you feel about the situation. I can't sit here and say yes, it's too soon, no, it's not too soon, because I'm not in your relationship or whatever it is, your situation. I'm not in your situation. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't read every message. I don't have all of that. I just kind of have what you've sent to me. And in my opinion, there is no written rule. There's no guidelines on when anyone should be exclusive in a relationship, whatever. It's all about what feels right in your situation, because this time around in 3 months, you could feel like, yeah, I want to be exclusive, and then hoping it doesn't, but say in 2 years time when you're single and then you're speaking to someone new, you might not want to be exclusive with them for a year. It just depends on case by case, like, but every situation is different, and you can't kind of put a generic rule or application against all of them, because it just would never work anyway. So yeah, I think you just need to do, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but you need to do what feels right for you and what feels right in the situation, and also just don't really care about what anyone else thinks. If you're concerned because you're worried what your family might say, or your friends might say, or I don't know, what anyone else might say, it doesn't really matter. It's none of their business, if I'm being honest. So you shouldn't care about their opinions. You shouldn't let that deter you from doing whatever it is you want to do. And that applies to anything in life, to be honest, not just dating. Like, if there's something you want to do, go do it. Believe in what you want to do, and don't worry about what anyone else has to say, because I'm not going to lie, there's always going to be someone who has something to say about something, because everyone always has an opinion, and everyone always has an opinion on something that someone else is doing, because it's easier to comment on another person's life than it is to comment on your own. So yeah, don't let that put you off either. I think you just need to do what feels right for you. But I hope that answered your dilemma. Well, not answered, but gave you a little bit of advice on your dilemma. Okay, so that brings me to the end of my little mukbang dilemma video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I've literally got so much food still here in front of me. I feel like I was hardly eating in that video, but I was also trying to just give all my advice without spitting all this food all over the camera, basically, because none of you want to see that. But I'm going to sit and eat the rest of my food now, because let's face it, we can't put a Nando's to waste. It has to be eaten. That's just what I like to tell myself anyway, so I feel less guilty for eating it all. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, then please do give it a big thumbs up. If you have any comments about this video or any other videos that you'd like to see, then put those in the comments box down below. All my social media will be linked in the description box. If you don't follow me over on Instagram, which is where I do all my polls for videos on YouTube, then please come and follow me over there, and you'll be able to see when I'm doing more videos like this and get your dilemmas in if you want to see more of these videos. But yeah, all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all in my next video. Bye.